Top of La Liga. 4 changes though from the side which beat Borussia Mönchengladbach in midweek. Perhaps most significant, no Andres Iniesta. Mickey Gray.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, he's such a genius. Love watching him play as well, and everybody will talk about Messi not being in the side, but I think Iniesta's the one that makes them tick. Maybe he's 32 years old now, he's thinking that he can't play every single game, but Gomez comes into the side, Turan as well. It's up to them to provide the service for the 3 guys in front of them. But
is Arda Turan a very different player to Iniesta?
I think he is, yeah. You know, he's been brought up in that solid way, if you like. You know, he's kind of the #1 man at Turkey, if you like. And, you know, when he plays in this Barca side, he's one of 11. Iniesta...
Maybe a bit more physical than Iniesta.
Yeah, I think you look at him in that sense, don't you? Whereas Iniesta, you know, you just give him the ball in any situation. You know something's going to come from it because he's got so much talent. And it's a shame he's on the bench tonight. I'm sure he will get on at some point, but, you know, the 3 guys in midfield have got to come up with something special tonight.
What's it like going back to one of your former clubs, Mick? Is it emotional for Luis Enrique?
I would have thought so, yeah. I've done that myself as a player, and it's very strange.
Strange in a good way or strange in a...
Well, I played against Sunderland, which is obviously the team that I support as well, and I went back to the Stadium of Light with Blackburn Rovers. We beat them 1-0.
Good reception?
Yeah, it did actually, yeah, but once that whistle blows, I think it's just get down to business and try and do the job in hand, which is to pick up maximum points, and that's what we did on that day.
Speaking of Sunderland, by the way, if you're a fan of English football, you may have heard George Boateng making some interesting comments earlier. Described Sunderland as just the 3rd biggest team in North East football, which really riled Mickey Gray earlier. Feel free to use the hashtag #the club if you want to get involved in that conversation. In the meantime, let's just recap the team news tonight. Celta Vigo, 1 change to the side, which beat Espanyol last weekend. The captain Hugo Malo comes back in. Johnny Castro drops out of the starting lineup. He's on the bench tonight. Otherwise, it's a 4-3-3 going on, 4-5-1 really for Celta Vigo tonight. Eduardo Berizzo picking a defensive-looking lineup, but a similar formation to the way he lined up a year ago when they thumped Barcelona 4-1. Of course, Nolito's in the lineup then, now a Manchester City player.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a quality player, Nolito, but this side, you know, we talked about picking up a little bit of form right now as well. They've got to start right tonight. I said, you know, the home crowd have got to give them that advantage. And if they can do that, they can get a stranglehold in the game early on. They can make it a very difficult night for Barcelona.
Luis Enrique has made 4 changes to the side, which played Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Champions League in midweek. They came from 2-1 down to win that one. Changes tonight then in the back 4. Jeremy Mathieu comes back into the starting lineup tonight. Otherwise... he's along. The changes are Andre Gomez, Arda Turan and Rafinha also involved. Oh, there we go. We are going to see the Barcelona team tonight. So Ter Stegen does line up in goal. The back 4 then. Jeremy Mathieu comes in. To that starting lineup. It is that 4-3-3 formation. And no Lionel Messi tonight, of course. That injury keeps him. Arda Turan lines up in place of Iniesta in midfield. Luis Suarez and Neymar will provide the goal threat for Barcelona in the absence of the great Argentine. Commentated in Los Payados, Simon Hanley and Duncan Bishop.
Iñaki Bikundi gets things underway. It's Celta in their sky blue first choice strip, attacking the goal to the right of your screen, and I'm joined this evening by Duncan Bishop. Duncan, that was a tremendous win for Celta over Barcelona last season. As Neymar goes down on the edge of the box, the whistle goes. Let's see what has actually been given there. It looks like a free kick in favour of Barcelona. It's a dangerous one. It's going to be really tough for Celta to repeat that kind of performance tonight, especially after their slightly dodgy start to the season.
Yeah, Celta have picked up the pace, but not really impressed in terms of their play. Barcelona, obviously a massive challenge for them, and they're going to be tired after action in midweek. They are on a decent run, though, of 3 consecutive victories in all competitions, 2 in La Liga, beating Sporting Gijón and Espanyol. And they showed last season that they can beat Barcelona. It's going to be a tough call, even with Barca not having Leo Messi in the starting lineup today.
Well, the foul has been given by referee Mr. Bikandi for the challenge by Hugo Mayo on Neymar as he tried to break through the middle. And, well, it's quite a favourable position. Sergio Alvarez looks on. He's was probably hoping not to be called into action quite so early as Neymar places the ball. Let's see if the Brazilian can continue assuming the responsibility in the absence of Leo Messi. Up steps Neymar. An easy reflection off the top of the wall and over the bar for the first corner of the game.
Well, it was a big victory for Celta against Barcelona last season, 4-1. They're playing still with Luis Enrique's strategy before 3-3.
Neymar swings the corner in, nobody got ahead to it. Rafinha saw it late and could only knock it upwards. And the ball comes now to Jordi Alba. Gerard Piqué returning from attacking duty, caught offside there.
Well, Celta playing with a new look side compared to the side that beat Barcelona last season. Of course, no Nolito this year. Fabio Oriano is maybe most famous in this fixture for having thrown some grass at Busquets a couple of years ago. He misses out through injury, and maybe they're going to be missing that dynamism up top. They've been relatively short on goals so far in this campaign.
Piano Sisto, who grabbed the second against Espanyol last week out. Radoya gives it away, it's well intercepted. Finally comes to Gerard Piqué, who chips it forward without much thought of trying to play the ball out, controlled from the back. Finally, Hugo Mayo turns it back to Sergio Alvarez. Neymar very quickly into press, and good pressing because Barca win a throw as Sergio was obliged to clear it any which way. Here's Neymar. Busquets. Alba back to Jeremy Mathieu. And Piqué all the way back to Mark ter Stegen. Mathieu trying to drive forward from central defence. He gives it away to Mayo. Was gets a touch. Falls to Arda Turan. A little bit sloppy from both sides early on, but it's Barca taking the initiative. Luis Suarez miscontrols that one and has his first clash of the evening with Hugo Mayo. I'm sure there are plenty more of those to come.
Hugo Mayo is not afraid to get stuck in. He's one of the more physical players for Celta Vigo, and he's going to have his wits about him with this running battle with Luis Suarez. Saw some of the turf being dug up there. It's been raining slightly in Vigo. It's always something of a treacherous surface to deal with. And just had a bit dug up there by Suarez as he made the run down the left-hand side.
Clearance by Sergio Alvarez. Goes all the way through to Gerard Piqué. Under pressure from Iago Aspas, he plays it back to Jeremy Mathieu.
Mathieu's been called up into the France squad. We've got international break coming up next weekend. Mathieu's been in and out of the French national team. Giving another nod in some of their first games post Euro 2016.
First touch for Andre Gomez. Outside him, Sergi Roberto. Former Valencia man finds Busquets. Here's Mathieu.
Well, we've got another former Valencia man on the bench, Paco Alcácer. It's Rafinha who's been chosen ahead of him to start off up front on the right. I think Alcácer is more seen as a replacement for Luis Suarez when he's unavailable, rather than Leo Messi, who likes to drop in from the right-hand side.
Jeremy Mathieu there running out of ideas and finally having a bit of a hopeful one. It's another goal kick, 6 minutes just about to be arrived at here. Barcelona starting to take the early initiative. Gomez wins it, headed back in by Radoya. Neymar with a flick over the top. It's well won there by Gustavo Cabral. And a free kick given. Gustavo Cabral playing at left back this evening. And Celta players giving no doubt whatsoever that Luis Suarez is going to be a target tonight. He's tried it down the left, he's tried it down the right, and picked up a couple of bruises already.
Although without Planas today, Celta also leaving out Andrea Fonte against his own his former side.
Neymar swings it in. Daniel Was got his head to it. It'll be a corner. Corner number 2 for Barcelona. Celta so far unable to hold on to the ball as long as they would like. Usually a team that enjoys possession of the ball. It's going to be Neymar to take the corner, very involved in these early minutes. Was heads clear. Only as far as Arda Turan. This is Busquets. Aspas goes into press. All the way back to Sergio Roberto, and now Jordi Alba. Gomez. Was sticking with him.
Must have scored that great goal with an element of luck about it against Panathinaikos in midweek. It's proven to be an able replacement for Michael Crondelli when he left to join Sevilla at the start of last season. He's one of the creative outlets for Celta to watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Danish connection at Celta. Both Crondelli prior to that move to Sevilla and Was since. Done a really good job in midfield. Aspas does well. Mayo chips it over the top. There's a chase for Bongonda, but no problems for Gerard Piqué. Sergio Roberto. Rafinha. Busquets to Neymar. Jeremy Mathieu. Busquets once more. Just got a little bit caught up between his feet there, Rafinha. And that's a decent little break from Bongonda. Stopped by Sergio Roberto. The home fans claiming for a foul. Aspas picks up the loose ball. Neymar with him. Aspas finds Sisto. Leaves it for Hugo Mayo. Mayo's cross curling in and into the gloves of Ter Stegen. But that's the best football Celta have put together in the opening 9 minutes.
Well, it's Sisto. He didn't really seem to know what he wanted to do. Hugo Mayo knew exactly what he had to do, which was keep the pace up to try and keep the momentum. They've hit a couple of times trying to attack Barcelona on the counter. Our first real bit of interplay we've seen from Celta in the final third.
Once more, Jeremy Mathieu playing the ball out from the back, looking for Neymar. Not quite judged by the Brazilian, and Sergio Gomez plays it back to Alvarez. It's the greatest clearance, one in the air by Arda Turan.
Sergio Gomez, of course, a former Barcelona player. They have that connection, especially when Luis Enrique was in charge of the Galician side. They'd bring in a few players either on loan or sold. Rafinha, of course, had a spell here, very successful.
Here's Gomez. Rafinha inside to Luis Suarez. The chance here, he leaves it for Neymar. Neymar, a little dink into the box, easily dealt with. And Gerard Piqué to start again. Long floating ball towards the edge of the box, picks out Neymar beautifully. Neymar twisting and turning, looking for an angle to shoot. He can't find it yet, still on the ball. Leaves it for Busquets. He picks out Arda Turan. Suarez cuts it back, and it's cleared in the end by Roncaglia. Still Barca insist. Arda Turan wide on the left, taking on Hugo Mayo. Gets it back from Rafinha. And then again from Suarez, Luis Suarez. The only thing missing in that play was the final shot, the final product from Suarez, and he knows it. The setup, Duncan, was classic Barca.
Yeah, classic Barca and classic Arda Turan this season from a player who was rumoured to be on his way out at the start of the campaign. He's been integral to so much of Barcelona's success early on in the season. Gorgeous 1-2 played with Suarez. This is Celta on the break.
The cross in, headed clear by Jeremy Mathieu and headed away by Rafinha. From Caglia to Radoya. Here's Hugo Mayo. Pionicisto. Mayo again. Radoja. Opening it wide for Roncaglia. He leaves it for Bongonda. Wins a corner, first of the game for Celta Vigo, and the fans have something to cheer as Celta's response to that first incisive Barca combination up front has been to respond well, take the game to Barca and win the first corner.
This one they bring the big guns up. A couple of strikers on the bench, Guidetti and Rossi, who maybe would have expected to get a start. Iago Aspas is many things. A big, typical target man. He is not one of the shorter players on the pitch. He can make a nuisance of himself, though, if the second ball goes loose.
Was swings the corner in. Found the head of Mayo. In fact, it was Pablo Hernandez. Failed to hit the target. Berizzo looks on.
Bit of pressure on him at the start of the season when the results weren't going Celta's way. He's done a terrific job at Celta, following on from Luis Enrique's really successful campaign here. Getting Celta back into Europe after a decade away.
Arda Turan leaves it. Falls to Mathieu. Jordi Alba. Mathieu back to Ter Stegen. Aspas goes in to have a look. Ter Stegen, calm and collected. He found Alba, but he couldn't control it. Mayo through the middle. And here's Gomez once more. Long clearance from Sergio Alvarez. No problems whatsoever for Gerard Piqué. Mathieu. Arda Turan.
Well, Barca, of course, are going to be buoyed by a result from earlier on in the day. Real Madrid held to yet another draw in La Liga, this time against Eibar at the Santiago Bernabeu. Means Barcelona have the opportunity to move ahead of it.
Aspas takes it off the slipping Sergio Busquets. Square to Was. Tries the shot, it's blocked by Gerard Piqué. And Piqué plays it out nicely. Rafinha back to Sergi Roberto. Piqué again. And Celta starting to appear a little bit more often on the edge of the Barca box with some intent. Down goes Andre Gomez. Play on, says the referee. Roncaglia back to Hernandez. It's a bit of a chase for Radoja. He couldn't get to it. Arda Turan finds Neymar. Fast and furious pace in this opening 15 minutes. Suarez. The cross took a deflection. Punch clear by Sergio. And Sergi Roberto with what we could probably describe as a hopeful attempt. It'll be a goal kick to Celta.
Well, he had every right to take the shot because Sergio Alvarez was slightly out of position, having made the punch. Really had to hit the target. It was that little deflection which caught Alvarez out, otherwise would have made a fairly comprehensive catch.
There's Radoja and Arda Turan. Arda Turan looking to the referee. Alvarez with the goal kick. Nobody managing to get a touch to it. It falls to Piqué. Suarez chesting it down to Rafinha. Suarez again, now Neymar. Sergi Roberto. Rafinha just overhit it for Busquets. It comes back to Arda Turan. Little back healer from Neymar, dealt with by Gomez. As far as Mateo, though. And that looked like a foul on Neymar Jr. I'm not sure if that's what the referee's given. Neymar stays down off the pitch.
And he travelled a fair way as he went down. The referee's been fairly permissive in the opening quarter hour or so, just letting the game flow.
Well, there's no way Mayo was going to get near the ball there, and he clearly pushed Neymar over towards that TV camera there. And the referee has indeed given a foul. Certainly Luis Enrique was claiming for it from the sidelines. Neymar plays it short to Alba, swings it into the far post, and Suarez was impeding Sergio Alvarez. Free kick given on the goalie.
Yeah, the decisions normally in that kind of situation go in the favour of the goalkeeper. Suarez maybe slightly backing up onto him.
Yeah, quite an easy decision for the referee to give.
Well, the absence of Leo Messi means us will be depending more on Suarez and Neymar. They combined so well in his absence last season.
That was a good ball out from Gomez. Aspas, first time he actually got the ball on his feet in the Barca box. He wins a throw in for Celta. Good work from Teo Bongonda as well. We've got some talented attacking players in this Celta side.
Yeah, Aspas scored 2 goals in that 4-1 victory over Barca last season. Bongonda, who has a point to prove as well, he said last season he thought that he'd get more minutes when he joined Celta Vigo. He gets his chance today.
They came up against Andre Gomes there. Sergio Roberto helping the Portuguese out. And Gerard Piqué with the clearance. It was only as far as Gustavo Cabral. Now the ball goes through to Mark ter Stegen. Mathieu square to Gerard Piqué. No rush for Barca as they prepare to play the ball out from the back.
Celta not pressing particularly high. Seem to be stopping just before the final third. They don't want to commit too many players forward. Now they go on to Mathieu though.
Ter Stegen. Very nearly found what he was aiming for, Luis Suarez's head. Neat work from Hernandez. Ladoya spreads it wide where Teo Bongonda picks it up. The Belgian driving in towards the box. Gets away from Rafinha. Gets a decent cross in. Ter Stegen can't hold it. It's Arda Turan who'll play the ball away. Great ball in there from Bongonda. Rafinha for Barca. Arda Turan. Gerard Piqué.
You haven't seen too much of Piqué bringing the ball forward at his feet. Must have gone for the early pass so far.
Piqué again to Neymar. Gets it back. That's a firm challenge and a good one, says the referee. It falls to Bongonda. Aspas outside him. Here's Aspas. Good ball for the run for Sisto. Ter Stegen very, very quick to see the danger. Very, very quick to put an end to it.
Well, Sisto making a fantastic run there. Just broke into a sprint. The marker couldn't keep with him. It was only the alertness of Ter Stegen that prevents a real bit of danger from Celta.
Suarez just losing out to Gustavo Cabral. Cabral again. Sisto. Was back to Sisto. Good play from him. Here's Bongonda. Roncaglia. Aspas first time. Bongonda miscues it, but again, you feel that he had every right to at least try the shot. Didn't come off for him. Here's Suarez. Arda Turan. Mathieu. Bit of a loose one. Straight to Bongonda. Aspas. Arda Turan helping out at the back. Roncaglia over the top. That's too firm, even for Pione Sisto.
Yeah, Sisto took a little while to get into this game. But in the last 10 minutes, he and Celta have looked a lot more promising after an early spell of Barcelona, almost complete dominance.
Busquets, that was a poor one from Ter Stegen. Aspas, his Sisto. Oh, what a finish. It's 1-0 to Celta. Piones Sisto with the goal. It all started from an error from Mark Ter Stegen, and it was lethally taken advantage of. Iago Aspas with the pass into the box. Sisto, who moments before had made a good direct diagonal run into the box, repeated the trick and just dragged it wide of Ter Stegen. Celta take the lead halfway through the first half, and just as you were saying, Duncan, they were starting to cause more of a threat up front. They've got the result.
Well, it's just out of reach of Sergio Busquets, and as Barca had advanced slightly forward, it's taken off the toe of Andre Gomez. Sisto hits that perfectly off the pass. First touch took him slightly wide. He knew he just had one crack at it after then. Manages to beat Ter Stegen, and Celta, who've really built in the last 5 minutes or so, have had chances, have had opportunities to get crossed into the box, get their reward, and maybe 2 shocks in a day for 2 of the top sides in La Liga.
Well, Berizzo delighted with that. Barcelona will be taken aback a bit. They seem to have things pretty much under control. Still plenty of time, of course, left. Just 23 minutes on the clock. The ball falls to Jordi Alba. Quite a lot of players having problems in staying on their feet. Here's Aspas. Tremendous run down the right by Hernandez. Still Aspas is going to try a shot, and Mark Ter Stegen was forced to tip it over the bar. Just perhaps a little bit too centred, Aspas's attempt, but making Ter Stegen work once again.
Well, he apologised for not laying it off, but I think Aspas had to have a go from there. He knows he's got that power in his boots, just needed to get that swerve a little bit earlier to get it into the top corner.
Well, it is another corner for Celta. It's going to be Daniel Was to take it. Third corner of the game for the hosts. And Balaidos demonstrates its pleasure with the situation. Ball looping up into the hands of Ter Stegen there. And it's Gerard Piqué to start once again. Oh, it's given away again, this time by Gomez. Was on the ball, Was driving forward. He's got Aspas outside him. A little bit static there, Aspas in his support to the Dane. And Busquets picks out Rafinha. And the throw will be Barcelona's Sergi Roberto to take it.
Well, these are the kind of games that Iago Aspas loves. He likes those battles with the defence. He likes getting physical. Didn't have a great spell at Sevilla, didn't have a great spell at Liverpool. He's right at home with the Celta style, though.
Roncaglia wins the free kick. Fouled by his former teammate.
Well, Busquets had just taken his eye off the ball. He was looking at the rest of the defence to see where Piqué was.
That's a brilliant ball in from Aspas, and just the one touch from Piones Sisto to get him beyond Jeremy Mathieu. And quite frankly, the finish was excellent. It wasn't at all an easy attempt there from the player from Kampala. Bongonda lays it off. Roncaglia floating it forward towards Aspas, headed clear by Mathieu. Busquets. Arda Turan. Neat footwork from him. Here's Rafinha, helped out by Suarez. The ball will go out for a Barcelona throw-in. Not the most convincing of clearances. Neymar leaves it for Jordi Alba. Neymar becomes the latest player to lose his footing. Arda Turan goes down and wins a free kick from the challenge on him by Radoya.
I can see as we got the close-up that huge amount of build-up of turf that's been lifted It's right there in the background. You can see where Luis Suarez had dug some up earlier on in the game.
It's been a problem at Balaidos all season, and it so often is at the start of the season especially. Neymar again tries the short one with Jordi Alba, swings it into the far post. No problems for Sergio Alvarez. Alvarez sends it long, just about getting his head to it. Jordi Alba and Daniel Wass will be penalised for that challenge on Arda Turan, which causes a strange response from the Turk. Now the arm is over the shoulder. Doesn't appear to be too heavy a contact.
Not with the elbow, as Arda Turan is claiming. He may very well have thought it was the elbow as he had his head turned away. It was just hit with the tricep.
Hugo Mayo, it's blocked by Arda Turan. It'll be a throw to Celta. Turan's obviously recuperated from that little knock.
Well, as emergency measures go, the Barcelona bench isn't looking too bad. Rakitic, Denis Suarez, Iniesta, Mascherano, Alcácer and Dine, the outfield players, as well as Silerson, the substitute goalkeeper. Plenty of game changers on the bench there.
Well, Celta penalised for their close pressing on Barca there, but it is something they're doing quite well, and the Barca players getting a little bit worked up. Neymar takes it back to Jordi Alba. Here's Mathieu. Square to Gerard Piqué.
Yeah, the Barca midfield haven't really imposed their will on the game so far.
Arda Turan dropping back to help out Alba. Busquets. Turan doing well to get there, but could only find Hernandez. Here's Aspas. Brought down by a combination of Neymar and Andre Gomez. But I think the Celta players would do well not to criticise too much this kind of physical football, because that's clearly their approach too, although Gomez did seem to clatter into Aspas when he was down. Sisto. Radoya. Hernandez. Roncaglia to Bongonda. Bongonda trying to get away from Sergio Roberto, who was helped out by Rafinha. Applause from the Balaidos fans. This is, of course, the ground where Rafinha really burst onto the scene. Bongonda, Roncaglia.
Yeah, we thought Rafinha was maybe going to be lost in the shuffle when he returned to Barcelona. He was just getting into the first team when he suffered that injury right at the start of the last campaign. Only returned for the final few games. He's managed to get himself back into the team now, though, in the absence of Leo Messi.
Decent possession from Celta. Problems, almost problems for Gustavo Cabral. He managed to tuck it back to Alvarez. Alvarez who clears. Sisto underneath it with Mathieu. It's won by Busquets. This is Arda Turan. Busquets to Gerard Piqué. Rafinha. Mathieu. Balaidos getting behind the team. Here's Suarez. Lovely reception and turn. He loses his footing in the end. And it's Gustavo Cabral who clears. It came off Busquets. It's fallen for Aspas. Tremendous burst through the middle to support him from Hernandez. Aspas going all the way. It's 2-0 to Celta. Iago Aspas once again. And can we be about to see a repeat of the shock result here in Balaidos last year? It was 4-1 then. 31 minutes in, it's 2-0 this time, and it's Iago Aspas the killer, and Barca at the moment don't have the answers.
Well, he struck twice last season against Barca in the 4-1 victory. Iago Aspas, a player you can never accuse of lacking confidence. Just knew what he wanted to do. He had Hernandez acting as a decoy, And it's a tremendous solo effort, and it all starts from a Barcelona chance. Celta hit on the counter-attack, and it's Aspas who creates the move almost out of nothing.
Well, the clearance came from Gustavo Cabral, breaking down a Barca attack. Busquets didn't get the contact with the attempted headed clearance. As you say, the presence there of Pablo Hernandez just taking a little bit of the pressure off Aspas. And for the second time in the evening, a shot dragged across the face of the goal, defended by Mark ter Stegen, has got away from the German keeper and finished up in the back of the net. Celta Vigo 2, Football Club Barcelona 0. It's fallen now to Daniel Was. Puts a decent ball in, and it's 3-0. I'm not sure if it's Aspas or an own goal. I think it's a Jeremy Mathieu own goal, and Barca are on their knees in Balaidos for the second season on the trot. And what a situation for Luis Enrique, who's absolutely adored here after the brilliant job he did taking Celta to a 9th place position. Every time he comes here with Barca, they seem to get walloped.
Well, that's probably why they like Luis Enrique coming back so much. His side, as you say, being absolutely taken apart. In almost a 5-minute spell, Celta have become completely dominant. You could just see the confidence as they went forward. It's another defensive mistake. It's another bit of Iago Aspas just running at the defence, causing problems. He waits there, he's holding up his arms, he's onside, but his presence not even needed. Jeremy Mathieu forced into a mistake.
Well,
ter Stegen beaten.
That was very, very shabby from Barca in the build-up to that. I mean, they had the ball under control, in possession, in their own half, looking to play it tippy-tappy forward, give the ball away, imprecisions all over the park. Very sloppy indeed, and Celta with the wind in their sails. Barcelona need to try and just try and get on top of this game, try and hold on to the ball, build some confidence up, because otherwise they're in real trouble. Here's Neymar. I mean, obviously they're in real trouble as it is, 3-0 down with 33, nearly 34 minutes on the clock. Talk about taking advantage of your opportunities, though. Just as Barca gave the ball away, there's a handball from Piqué. Balaidos asking for a yellow card. Just as Barca gave the ball away, we saw on screen the stats. Celta, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. There was also, I mean, we could be fair and say that Iago Aspas attempt that was tipped over the bar by ter Stegen was on target too, but maximum efficiency from the Gallegos.
And also, Barcelona have had a few opportunities going forward in the final third through the strikers, but midfield has been completely bossed by Celta. They're pressing up to the halfway line, winning all of those 50-50 balls and asking questions of Barcelona. The strikers, deadly efficiency and creative with their runs as well.
Well, it's one of the controversies at many of the big clubs in La Liga this season. That hoary old idea of rotation, but here's another chance. Hugo Mayo with the shot, forcing a save from ter Stegen, who had to react quickly. But we've got Rakitic, Iniesta and Denis Suarez on the bench, and certainly 2 of those you would have to say forming part with Busquets, who's on the ball now, of Barca's first choice midfield.
At the same time, though, huge signings, especially Andre Gomez, the most recent, he and Arda Turan. Turan's in great form as well, but mostly playing ahead as part of a front 3. You can't fault Luis Enrique for using the tools he has available. Maybe rotating 2 of the most regular players at the same time could prove to be his undoing, though.
In comes the corner from Neymar. It's cleared by Daniel Was. There's a chase for Jordi Alba.
Arda Turan, he's had flashes of good play in the opening 35 minutes, but Celta have been doing so well in the midfield.
Jordi Alba for Barcelona. Here's Neymar. Hugo Mayo like a shadow, grabbing onto him. Neymar pushes him away. The referee allows it, quite rightly, I think, too. That's a good ball. Chipped in by Gomez, and once more there's a player going down in the Celta area. Busquets, lovely control. Got a little bit of a fortunate bounce. This is better from Barcelona. Suarez lost it. It's going to fall to Sergio Roberto. The crossover hit. Comes to Alba. He can't get the shot away. Headed clear. Bongonda gets a touch. Here's Aspas. And he's pulled down by Sergio Roberto. That is going to be a yellow card. No, it's not.
Well, we've seen it a few times. I think maybe they're just lucky, but it's in the Celta half still. I think maybe if he gets past the halfway line, the referee has a different idea. It is not the first time Iago Aspas has been knocked back. Not too much contact from Roberto, but he does pull his arm.
He does, but I think Aspas quite clearly lets himself go down in the end, and in his desire to see the yellow card, I think the referee read that perhaps the contact wasn't quite sufficient. As you say, it was a touch more than anything else with the arm. Well, what a situation Barcelona find themselves in. 37 minutes gone and Andres Iniesta warming up already.
As emergency measures go, it's not a bad one. Barca coming under criticism for some of their rotations already this season. The games against Alaves and Leganés. They lost that game against Alaves, of course. On their way towards defeat at Celta. They don't pull their fingers out quickly.
It's Andre Gomez bursting through. He's brought down quite clearly by Aspas there, right on the halfway line. Roncaglia was the other part of the sandwich. It's going to be a free kick to Barca. There's the contact with the right foot of Iago Aspas. Barca losing control from the free kick. Automatically, though, not like Barca at all. Arda Turan bringing down Aspas, and Barca have to watch this because Celta can quite easily lead them into this kind of game with constant stoppages and constant niggly fouls. And I think Arda Turan looking for a bit of revenge there for a prior challenge by Aspas, but that kind of game won't upset Celta Vigo too much. They're 3-0 up. There's just over 6 minutes to go before the half-time break, and Luis Enrique is going to be called upon, Duncan, to really get motivating this side, who just look a little bit sloppy, a little bit less than 100% in the game.
Yeah, we've seen well, there's two midfield changes. Arda Turan he's had some moments. Andre Gomez has been almost anonymous, hasn't offered up too much. It's a really out of sorts Barca. They've only looked more out of sorts with every goal that Celta have scored. They provided less of a response.
And Celta starting to really enjoy themselves now. That pass just overhit for Aspas, but a couple of nice little details in the centre circle there. Meanwhile, it's Neymar for Barcelona running at Hugo Mayo. Still Neymar. Barca really need a spectacular performance from him. They got one there as he went down. The referee not at all impressed. Andre Gomez, Suarez, still Suarez. He did everything right, just didn't have the angle or the time to make the shot count.
Well, we see that added urgency about Barcelona's play. The scoreline means that they have to be urgent about it, and Barcelona don't necessarily like to build things up too quickly. They like to explode in the final third. After about the closest they've got so far, that opportunity from Luis Suarez. Not too many saves required from Sergio Alvarez so far in the first half.
Luis Enrique's reaction there, telling the story, frustration in front of the visitors' dugout at Balaidos, and no surprise really, 3-0 down, and it all happened in the blink of an eye. Matias under it, heads it clear, aided on by Busquets, but it comes to Bongonda, Radoya, his Was. Pioni Sisto nearly lost it, but managed to keep the ball in play. He's got Mayo outside him, still Sisto. Oh, he gets into the box. Brilliant dribbling from Pioni Sisto. He just paused to look up to see his options, and Arda Turan was on him like a ferret up his trouser leg. Here's Neymar. Good defending from Gustavo Cabral. Neymar very quick to take the throw, but Suarez gives it away. And I think that's the point there, Duncan, you were making. Barca don't do urgent very well.
Yeah, they like to just build it up slowly, then in the final third just break out. They need to get a goal before half-time in order to alleviate a bit of that worry.
Well, Neymar having a tremendous battle there with Nemanja Radoje, wins the free kick.
Lisa complaining about repeated fouls. I think Iago Aspas will be complaining about similar in the middle of the park.
Especially Radoje, I don't think is one of the most guilty offenders in the Celta side, although he did have hold of Neymar there, pulling him back. The free kick has been given, no room for complaint. No yellow cards so far. It's that combination of Neymar with Alba there. Neymar trying, I think, perhaps to go for that top right-hand corner. Didn't make it. 3 minutes to go until half-time. Here we can see the first goal. Well, when the pass was made, I think Sisto was in a completely legal position. When he received the ball, he was further advanced. I assume that's what the repetition is. That's a message of the repetition to us.
Well, no controversy at all about any of the 3 goals. All brilliantly taken, unfortunately for Mathieu, into his own net. Iago Aspas was waiting to try and put that one away.
Well, Luis Enrique, he's got a real task on his hands now. He's got to try and keep his players motivated for it, convince them that they can do something here. Rafinha nearly lost it. Alba quick to find Busquets. Better play from Busquets. There's Andre Gomez looking once again a little bit tentative. Gerard Piqué gives it away again. That's not like Piqué. He's not the fastest getting back. He managed to get there in time on this occasion. Here's Jeremy Mathieu now. Could only find the head of Hugo Mayo, and he clatters into Daniel Was. Permissive refereeing from Iñaki Bikandi so far tonight. Andre Gomez trying to get away from Sisto. He does. It's a good challenge indeed, though, by Hugo Mayo. The referee disagrees and gives a free kick.
Well, don't be surprised if we see Andres Iniesta and Ivan Rakitic come on for the second half. We're seeing really no balls from deep being played by Barca. Hardly anything down the wing in terms of overlaps. It's just been a few solo runs from Neymar, a few runs from Suarez, and there's not been too much else that's provided anything for Barca fans to get excited about.
Jeremy Mathieu, bit of space for him, finds Neymar. And in the end, it will be a Barcelona throw, quickly taken, Mathieu. Half a minute left before half-time here in Balaidos. Piqué. And Suarez goes down. Rather in a rather exaggerated fashion. And the foul from Busquets on Aspas is worthy of the first yellow card of the proceedings. It's exactly what you said as well at the beginning, Duncan. Iago Aspas is one of those players who really gets under defenders' skins.
Yeah, he loves just staying up with the last defender, having a bit of a chat with him, getting the contact. I think Busquets, well, maybe even if that didn't warrant a yellow card, Aspas has been fouled so many times that the referee just says enough is enough, and Busquets just happened to be the player who committed the most recent foul.
Well, the whistle for half-time goes, the whole of Balaidos on its feet to give a rousing ovation to the local boys. Almost amazing as it may seem, as they leave the pitch to go in at half-time. It's Celta Vigo 3, Football Club Barcelona 0.
What a half at Las Balaidos. We said it could be a tricky game for Luis Enrique and Barcelona, but who could have expected that? 3 goals up at the break. Elsewhere.
Well, and I'm sure that the words would have said, look, you need to give us more. Every individual has to give us more. Stop giving the ball away, stop making silly mistakes, and go and prove how good you are in the second half.
OK, let's get back over to Estadio Balaidos. Simon Hanley and Duncan Bishop, the men on the mic for us.
Andres Iniesta. I'm fairly certain that is the case.
It might even be that Luis Enrique is going to just put the two up top. Suarez and Neymar, who combined so well last season in the absence of Messi when he got injured for that extended spell. Might just look to bring in Iniesta as part of the midfield and just try and play the numbers game.
Well, it's Jeremy Mathieu on the ball. Sends a long, high, rather hopeful one forward all the way through to Ter Stegen. Rafinha replaced by Andres Iniesta. Luis Suarez complaining that Sergio Alvarez is wasting time. It's a long clearance forward, one in the air, convincingly by Daniel Was. Again, pass to give the ball away quickly. Hernandez back to Cabral. Intercepted. Flicked on by Neymar, but it'll go out of touch. It'll be a Barcelona throw. Just flicked off Sergi Gomez.
No changes for Celta Vigo in the second half, but they also have some attacking options on the bench. Well, I just see Giuseppe Rossi or John Guidetti get a run out. They probably will do later on in the game.
Bongonda steals it from Arda Turan. He can go through who's got support from Was. In the end, it's well defended by Sergi Busquets. And another corner for Celta. Balaidos appreciating the way the second half has started. Barcelona looking very groggy indeed.
Oh, it looked good for the opening 10 minutes. Apart from that, though, it's been almost entirely one-way traffic.
Daniel Was to take the corner. Plays it short. Gets it back from Aspas. It's a poor attempt from the Dane. Cleared quickly by Suarez. Radoya back to Mayo, who clears. Firm challenge there from Hernandez on Mathieu. Mathieu clears, no control in it though. First touch from Iniesta. Suarez loses it straight away, and it's Celta who are really dominating every facet of the game here.
They've just looked more and more assured with every goal that they've scored. Not afraid to try things out either.
Ter Stegen. Was goes into press. He manages to find Busquets. And Busquets very nearly gives it away to Iago Aspas. Mathieu can't see a way out. Iniesta dropping back to help. And that's left a huge space in midfield. Can Sergi Busquets take advantage of it? Neymar still staying on his feet. Not for much longer, and he wins a free kick. To the disappointment of the home fans.
Well, Neymar hit his first free kick straight at the wall. He's more or less the only candidate to take in the absence of Messi.
There's a clear contact there between Radoya and Neymar. Well, Arda Turan's been known to take free kicks over his career. So has Gomez at Valencia. Suarez could be an option. Seems to have the glint in his eye, but it's Neymar placing the ball.
Mathieu standing over it, but he's very low down the pecking order. Mathieu has had a couple of belters, including for Barcelona in the Copa del Rey.
Well, Neymar standing back, but it looks to me as though Suarez is ready too. It's going to be Luis Suarez. Straight into the wall, it falls for him again, into the wall once more, and hoiked away. And there's a real chase on here. Fortunately for Barcelona, the man involved was Jordi Alba, probably their nippiest on the pitch, but Aspas gave him a run for his money. Here is Aspas. And the decision goes against him. He did appear to be tripped, I have to say. The referee, however, had a good view of it. Here's Iniesta. nearly losing out there, and somehow Barca managed to lose the ball once again. Here's Aspas picking it up from Sisto, gets into the box, came up against Gerard Piqué. Piqué storming forward, again gives it away, can't find out that Turan, it falls for the Turk finally, and he gets the referee's decision. And Balaidos not at all impressed with some of the referee's second half decisions so far. Arda Turan in short. Suarez plays himself into trouble. It's niftily taken off him by Was. Busquets got in the way of Was's attempted through ball. Arda Turan pressing Sergio Alvarez there. Radoya, here's Bondonga. Bondonga driving at Sergio Roberto. It's a good cross, just over hit. It'll be a throw to Barcelona.
Well, this was Aspas going down. He's almost just content to run at the opposition players. Says, if you take me down, that's fine by me as well.
Still Celta insisting. Here's a chance for the fourth. It's blocked by Ter Stegen, and Jordi Alba just wants that ball away from the edge of the Barca box. Suarez does well. A little bit fortunate. Goes down. And I think a free kick given and taken. Here's Neymar trying a first-time ball to return it to Suarez. Cabral back inside. And Gomez clears with all the time in the world. A long one forward. And Was's header just not quite linking with Sisto. He's on the ball now, though, Sisto. Still got Was with him. Iniesta helping out in defensive duties. Andre Gomez to play the ball out for Barca. Sergio Roberto gets away from Bongonda, back to the Portuguese. Gomez finds Arda Turan. Turan gets away from Roncaglia, still Turan. He needs some support. Gets it from Iniesta. Iniesta will chip over the box. Down goes Arda Turan in the area. Play on, says the referee. Chance on the break, it's Iago Aspas. Jeremy Mathieu timing his challenge correctly. Ter Stegen finds Andre Gomez.
Andre Gomez has to step it up in the second half. He didn't have too much of a presence in the first period. If his performance doesn't improve in the second half, I expect Ivan Rakitic to come on around about 60 minutes in.
Bongonda. Radoya. And this is good play from Hernandez as well. It was a decent run, and he knew when to break it as well. Is Was to Bongonda. No urgency for Celta, of course, right now, but they'll be keen to exploit any gaps Barca leave at the back. Roncaglia, the Olays roaring around the stadium. Hernandez loses it. Radoya can't hold on to it. It falls to Iniesta. Andre Gomez. Neymar, lovely back healer to Gomez. Tries to return the favour. Could be an awkward one. And in the end it'll be a corner. Very nearly an own goal there. As Barca for once managed to link together a decent combination of short passes at pace.
Yeah, finally, after so long in asking, an appeal for a penalty, which would have been very, very dubious had it given.
Neymar takes the corner, headed clear by Cabral, only as far as Sergio Roberto.
Iniesta tried that early flicker. We're missing that kind of ball that Messi usually provides, the diagonal ball over the first wave of defensive pressure.
Once again, Gomez gives it away. It's Aspas with possession, waiting to get some support. Oh, and he gives it away awfully to Suarez. Arda Turan looking for a way to get away from Gomez, and it'll be Gomez with the advantage. He finds Sergio Alvarez, who clears. Was is underneath it, so too is Busquets. Arda Turan once more. Sergio Roberto, throw into Barcelona. Arda finds Gomez. His cross is blocked on the near post by Sergio Gomez is Daniel Wass. Barca pushing Celta back in these opening 10 minutes since the restart. Here's Iniesta. Gets it back from Neymar. Being harried by Radoya and fouled by Nemanja Radoya.
Well, urgent and insistent at the start of the second half. Barca still haven't really got it together to find the strikers. Looks a bit just for two playing up top, Neymar and Suarez at the moment.
Arda Turan's clearly moved a few paces forward in this second half. He seemed to be hanging back so much in the first half, really not getting involved enough in the play, and seems to be trying to link up more with Neymar and Suarez. In the second, his Piqué couldn't bring the ball under control. It's cleared, only Sisto anywhere near it for Celta. Ter Stegen, the sweeper keeper. And Andres Iniesta, the instructions seem to be give it to Andres. There he is again. Evades the challenge. Mathieu to Piqué. Long ball Barca. It's one in the air by Roncaglia. Taken over by Andre Gomez, who's looking a bit perkier. Overhits the cross. There should be no problems for Alvarez.
Well, you know, but Barcelona have been shaken when they start appealing for everything, even for throw-ins and corners. They just look very frustrated at the moment. Iniesta's the only one offering up a little bit of creativity and a little bit of something different.
Neat flick on from Suarez, finds Neymar perfectly, but he's too slow to take the decision. He does win the corner though, despite the protests of the home players. Hugo Mayo felt it came off the Brazilian himself. Paco Alcácer warming up on the sidelines for Barcelona. The corner's played short. Iniesta swings it in, and it's Gerard Piqué pulling one back for Barca, and Barcelona relying on two of their linchpins. Iniesta's cross, Piqué up front with the header, and with over half an hour to go, considerably over, and that's a good start to the second half for Barca. Hesitant to say they're back in it, but they're much more in it now than they were when they went off at half-time. Gerard Piqué pulls one back.
Well, that's a great header, almost unmarked. Gerard Piqué, it was between him and Arda Turan. One of them was going to put it past Sergio Alvarez. His first goal in La Liga so far this season, has already scored in the Champions League, of course. Gerard Piqué against Borussia Mönchengladbach earlier on this week.
Barca really insisting now, and it's good to see Andre Gomez getting up into more attacking positions. On this occasion, the pass misplaced. Hugo Mayo with the clearance. So Luis Enrique's half-time shake-up paying off so far. Is Hernandez looking for the best option, trying to shake off Andre Gomez. It's played back to Alvarez. He sends it deep. Should be no problem for Gerard Piqué. And now Ter Stegen. Well, despite having misplaced a couple of them, he's still playing those dangerous-looking passes through the middle. Busquets was the one who lost it on this occasion. Cabral square. Gomez with a floater. Aspas looking for the contact. It's fallen to Pione Sisto, and Gerard Piqué just appeared to be the only man in the box who was keeping hold of his emotions there. He played it out nicely. Here's Neymar. Finds Suarez. Barca needs Suarez and Neymar to start performing, that's for sure. Neymar again, he's going to try a shot. No, he dummies it. Holds on. The opportunity is gone. Plays it wide to Arda Turan. A dink into the far post. Neymar arriving. And in the end, it's played into the arms of Sergio Alvarez.
Gerard Piqué had raced forward after playing the initial ball, trying to pull Barcelona up by the bootstraps.
was Jordi Alba, who just was dispossessed in the last second by Pione Sisto, of all people. Arda Turan again for Barca. Plays it down the line nicely to Andre Gomez. Sergio Roberto. And again couldn't find the pass he wanted. Radoya. Again played into the space to see if Aspas can get a sniff of it. Ball still in play. And, well, the linesman was the man in the clearest position to give that one to Barcelona. Here's Piqué.
This is what we didn't see anything of in the first half. Gerard Piqué taking the ball forward with intent. He's been too content to lay it off to Busquets, who's been out of form.
Arda Turan trying to get away from Roncaglia. He does so. It's a good cross, headed clear by Gomez. Was does well to find Bongonda. And Bongonda just unaware of what Aspas's intentions were there. As we're going to see another change, this time for Celta. And this time it looks like it's going to be Chelo Diaz. Arda Turan. Sergio Roberto. Well defended once more by Gomez, but Barca putting the pressure on and Celta on the back foot.
I think Celta knew that they were going to face this spell of Barcelona pressure at some point. The important thing is hanging on and waiting for any counter-attack that comes their way.
Marcelo Diaz replacing Bongonda as Berizza looks just to put a bit more muscle in that midfield. But the Chilean Diaz really is one of those players who just has a tendency to find the simple ball and the right ball. Bongonda in no rush to get off. Presumably we'll see Daniel Was taking slightly more responsibility up front, playing in a more defensive role, certainly in the second half. Busquets, Turan, Busquets, Andres Iniesta. That's a good ball, lovely ball through the middle. Gomez goes down, the referee points to the spot. He hesitated, may well have waited for a word from the linesman. The card is for Hugo Mayo, it's yellow. And a penalty given to Football Club Barcelona.
Hugo Mayo is still chasing after the referee. As you say, there was a hesitation about the call.
Well, what an opportunity here. Let's see if we can see the repeat. It's a lovely ball, and it's Radoya who grabs hold of the shirt of Gomez from behind, and Mayo perhaps a little clumsily going into him. I think the referee's got it right.
Yeah, correct call there, made by the referee. I'm not sure
about the yellow card, because I think the original foul is from Radoya.
It'll be Mayo for dissent. He had chased after the referee.
Well, it's all down to Neymar to get Barca right back into it. This would make it 3-2. Sergio Alvarez against Neymar Jr. Well, he does his little pause in the run-up once again, this time sending Sergio Alvarez the wrong way and tapping the ball beyond his reach. 3-2, Barca right back into the game. And, well, Luis Enrique doesn't look too pleased, I have to say, Duncan. It's a strange comeback, because it's only taken 19 minutes to pull two back. But Barca still not their usual convincing selves.
Yeah, the momentum is with them, but without any of the deft interplay, without any of the controlled play between Neymar and Suarez, with them really convincing in the midfield still.
There's Pione Sisto on the ball, trying to get away from Arda Turan, winning the decision from the linesman. Unusual to see Sisto dribbling with the ball, going in the completely wrong direction, as 'twere. And Celta have to get to grips with themselves a little bit here.
Sister's had a problem a few times in the game, just when he's taken his eye off the ball and it's been allowed to roll away from him. Very good player with his head down. Sometimes when he makes the look up, he'll lose control.
Well, it's his flick forward, but Aspas wasn't there. Mathieu was. Chase back for Roncaglia under pressure from Suarez. He does very well. Cabral with the clearance. Rather hopeful one, blocked by Piqué. Piqué gets it back from Busquets, and Piqué's influence becoming more and more important as we speak. And Turan wins the throw in. It came off Sergio Gomez. And Turan twisting and turning. This time it's a goal kick.
We saw Celta increasing in confidence. So once they'd scored the third goal, they were still confident after Barcelona had got one back. Expect them to look a little bit shaky now. The gap is just a single goal. So well taken penalty from Neymar, who hasn't always taken good penalties, in particular against Celta.
Well, having seen the penalty incident again, I've got no doubts the referee pointing to the spot was the correct decision. It certainly gets Barca right back into it with still half of this second period to go. Radoya, Piqué underneath it. This is better from Celta. Here's Sisto. Tries a shot, trying to surprise Ter Stegen and making the German work.
Yeah, Sisto had to get back inside to get it onto his right foot. Didn't have too many options available to him in space. It's a decent save from Ter Stegen.
Gerard Piqué once more. Floating along one forward towards Arda Turan. It was won by Roncaglia. Radoya gives it away, throw in to Barcelona. Arda Turan gets away from Roncaglia this time. Can he make it pay? Neymar's there. And finally, Sergio Alvarez on the second or third attempt, grabbing it to his chest. Celta quick to get the ball away, but it'll be a throw to Barcelona.
Celta looking a lot shakier now.
Neymar just couldn't get the shot off, and perhaps was just too busy really looking at the referee. The move was still on, and there was an opportunity. Jordi Alba was screaming at Neymar, seemed to be saying get up and keep playing.
And Neymar thought that he'd been pulled back by the arm by Hugo Mayo, who picked up a yellow card in the aftermath of the penalty decision. Another penalty and a sending off would have completely overturned the game.
Well, Chelo Diaz not happy that both of his targets stepped over that one. Throw to Barca. Iniesta picks out Gerard Piqué. Again, there's a big space in front of Piqué when he advances with the ball. Busquets. Piqué again. Piqué's cross. Neymar goes down once more. Change your boots, man. Here's Chelo Diaz. Bit of a chase for Aspas. He won't be able to keep the ball in play, but it is a Celta throw.
Well, Neymar, usually the kind of player who will change his boots, is usually the first to do so. This was him being pulled back, he says, by Hugo Mayo. There's contact maybe on the wrist. Neymar was holding on for dear life himself, though.
There's a reaction from Jordi Alba to the previous incident. And things all of a sudden looking a lot better for Barcelona, but still a tremendous amount of imprecision on the pitch out there from both sides, but more surprisingly from Barcelona. Well, the shot from a distance, perhaps worth a go from Hernandez. Never really testing Ter Stegen, though. Sergi Roberto. Sisto with a tremendous burst of pace to get back and cover him. Arda Turan getting away from Roncaglia. Suarez back to Roberto. Sergio Roberto finding Gomez. Here's Iniesta. Neymar. Iniesta again. Diaz is sticking to him. Iniesta shakes him off. Gomez making a run. In comes the cross, and it's really poor. Well, it was an impressive build-up. The end product once again was lacking for Football Club Barcelona. We're inside the last 20 minutes of this.
Well, you can't afford to leave Gerard Piqué unmarked from a corner, even though he was coming in from outside the box. You have to keep your eye on him. That's more or less the trademark Gerard Piqué goal. And Celta just fell into his trap.
Sergio Alvarez to take the goal kick. He's not going to be in any great rush to do so. Sends it long, straight and deep. Piqué was up for it. Gomez sends it on its way. Neymar underneath it. Got the better of Mayo, his Suarez. In the end, it'll be a throw to Barcelona. It was well defended. Suarez having a frustrating evening out there tonight. Neymar. Iniesta. Gently finds Gerard Piqué. Mathieu, Iniesta once more. Piqué again. Mathieu. Patient build-up from Barca. Little flick from Neymar. Easily dealt with by Gomez. It'll be a throw to the visitors, though.
It shows the different build-up that Barca have when they're only for one goal down. I had a real sense of urgency about them once goal number 3 had gone in from Celta.
Iniesta gets it back from Alba. Here's Piqué trying to feed it through for Arda Turan. It was well read in the end, and intelligent play from Roncaglia, seeking the contact, feeling it and going down. The referee had no choice really.
Yeah, it's that little push from Arda Turan that convinces the ref. Have another look at what may have been a pullback on Neymar, but he was grabbing the shirt of Mayo as he went down.
Piqué won it without knowing too much about it. Back in by Radoya, cleared by Sergio Roberto. Defended in the end by Cabral. Throw into Barcelona, Sergio Roberto to take it. Arda Turan. Sergio Roberto gets away from Roncaglia, but Roncaglia got back in time, helped by Sisto. Gomez with the clearance, headed back by Piqué. Diaz couldn't control it under pressure from Busquets. It comes to Sisto, Mas, and Piqué is saying we got the ball, but the referee disagrees, and with a smile on his face gives a free kick and a yellow card to Gerard Piqué.
I think he was quite amused by the reaction by Piqué, who certainly went in strong.
I think he catches Aspas before he gets the ball. Clearly does get both. And Aspas getting gingerly to his feet.
And Celta fans will be hoping that Aspas is sprinting soon enough. He's put in a great effort for 73 minutes so far. He's been central to every attack, really, that Celta have had.
Second yellow card for Barcelona, just the one for Celta. It's flicked on by Hernandez. He gets it again. Mas does well. It's cleared. Neymar trying to create something here. Jordi Alba on the overlap. Gomez was hanging back and clears. Throw to Barcelona. It's time for Denis Suarez to come on, presumably for Gomez or Arda Turan. Let's wait and see.
Yeah, maybe Luis Enrique just looking for a little bit more pace. So that seems to be the only real advantage that Suarez would have over putting in Ivan Rakitic, who For all his qualities, can control the game very well, but maybe not as quick as Denis Suarez.
Iniesta finds Andre Gomez. Back to Gerard Piqué. Gomez again. Wasn't the greatest ball to Sergio Roberto, but he battled and wins a throw. And the change is for Sergio Busquets, Denis Suarez, Duncan.
Well, we've got no Javier Mascherano on the pitch to occupy that position vacated by Busquets. It's a very surprising decision indeed. Not quite sure who's going to be shielding the defence unless Luis Enrique is going to go for 3-4-3.
Well, it's Jeremy Mathieu on the ball. There's just under 15 minutes of regulation time left. 3-2 to Celta.
Very surprising to see Busquets taken off. He's not had a good game. In fact, gave the ball away for one of the Celta goals. But there's nobody really who occupies that role like Busquets. If Mascherano was on the pitch, you could pretty much understand it. It looks as if Piqué is playing central and Mathieu staying in position as well.
Oh, what's Mark ter Stegen done? You can't believe it. He's given it away. What a nightmare. Hernandez with the goal. Celta go 4-2 up. From absolutely nowhere, Barcelona once more have managed to gift a goal to Celta Vigo. And that one, Duncan, can be absolutely crucial.
Well, Mark ter Stegen has made mistakes in the past. Think back to Roma last season. That will rank amongst his greatest howlers that he'll ever have in a Barca shirt. Just as Barca have the momentum in their favour, it's a silly mistake. Ter Stegen off his line, takes his eye off the ball, and it's easy pickings. Very nearly misses it, but
well, the pass back, I mean, doesn't put him under any pressure. He puts himself under pressure. I think he realises too late that Hernandez is coming. Can't even be aware of his presence there, I think, until he sees him. Hernandez doesn't know anything about it. It smashes off his face and into the back of the net. Comedy defending from Mark ter Stegen, the sweeper keeper, proving that sometimes being a safe pair of hands is perhaps more important than being useful with your feet. Too casual. Paco Alcácer is going to come on now, but the damage really is done, and ter Stegen is going to get hammered in the Barcelona sporting press because he was very much at fault for the first goal with that weak pass that Busquets found himself wrong-footed by. He's gifted Celta's fourth, and the question is, after Luis Enrique being able to rotate two quality keepers for 2 seasons, I'm not sure he's got 2 quality keepers, having let Claudio Bravo go to Manchester City, and there will be controversy in Barcelona, no doubt about that.
Well, ter Stegen was more or less sold to the Barcelona fans as being a goalkeeper who's great with his feet, and he's cost them a few points through that strategy. Luis Enrique will say that he's gained them some points with the way he plays, but might have lost them 3 today. Just as Barcelona were really coming back into the game, the tide had turned in their favour. That 2-goal advantage is very welcome for Celta Vigo.
It is, because they were struggling. They're going to find massive gaps now. Mathieu showing his pace. Aspas is through. Can he make it 5? No, he can't. He tries to do a little dink. Ter Stegen responded in kind. What an opportunity. But Celta will be expecting opportunities like that, and if Aspas or Sistro can take advantage, find a couple of yards on Piqué or Mathieu, Barca are going to suffer. Well, suffer more than they already are suffering. Listen to Balaidos roar. I think the fans really feel Barca are here for the taking now. Jordi Alba is intercepted before Suarez could get to it. It fell nicely for Neymar. Neymar finds Arda Turan. Sergio Roberto. Suarez. Neymar. Still Neymar is going to try a shot. Too many bodies there. It falls to Sergio Roberto. He sees the arrival of Alba in the far post. Didn't quite have enough pace, not even Jordi Alba, to keep that one in play. We're into the last 10 minutes. Celta Vigo 4, Football Club Barcelona 2.
Well, this was a chance for Aspas, but we're not actually going to see it. We're going to see this goal, though. Ter Stegen, it's just...
He doesn't know that...
Hernandez appears out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah.
The first Ter Stegen knows about it is when the ball is in the back of the net. Barcelona, who could have ended tonight top of La Liga outright, are going to end the night in 4th place unless they can find 2 quick goals.
Well, Ter Stegen, well aware of his error there. His face says it all. You said about him being sold to Barca fans as being so good with his feet. Being sold to Barca fans as being the ideal future Football Club Barcelona keeper. Everybody's allowed to have a bad night. Jordi Alba's been taken off.
It's Paco Alcácer who's come on. Luis Enrique throwing at everybody upfield. Well, we haven't seen much of Paco Alcácer since he joined from Valencia. Now would be a good time for him to come good.
Well, you've got to feel a little bit for Ter Stegen, but it really was, from a neutral point of view, one of those funny football moments which will no doubt appear on the programmes of collections of all the laughable mistakes in the beautiful game. That was certainly one of them, but I can't imagine many people in Barcelona see the funny side. 4-2 to Celta, just over 8 minutes to go. Oh, still in play. No, the referee listens to the linesman. At last it'll be a throw to Barcelona. And we're going to see another change for Celta. Johnny will come on. And he will be replacing, I think, Iago Aspas, is that correct? I found it hard to read the electronic scoreboard. No, Daniel Was. Good performance from Was once more.
Well, faded slightly in the second half, but that was to be expected during Barcelona's period of dominance. Some excellent passes in the first half. It's been a great week for him, of course, and he scored against Panathinaikos.
Well, he's replaced by local boy Johnny Castro. For the final 7 and a bit minutes. Iniesta back to Gomez to Piqué. It's Gomez who seems to be fitting in alongside Piqué, but Barca really, practically you could say, playing without defenders as they push forward. Jeremy Mathieu bursting down the left. If they get caught, they're in real trouble. Neat footwork. Fortunately for Barca, Andres Iniesta was there. He tried to go all the way, finds Suarez. It's brilliantly defended, but Suarez still insisting. Play on, said the referee. Denis Suarez now. Typical Luis Suarez run there across the face of the goal. 62% possession to Barca, but it's the goals that matter. Cross was poor. It was the first contact really that Paco Alcácer had since coming in, and Iniesta's end cross was a poor one.
Well, Morris playing with 2 at the back now, Barcelona, because Piqué is storming forward as well. They've only got 6 minutes to try and get something from this game. It's a real tall order, but Luis Enrique has 4 strikers on the field of play.
You look at the faces of the Barca players, they do look a bit shell-shocked as well. They might. They're probably thinking to themselves, how on earth have we got ourselves into this position? Here's Andre Gomez. Gerard Piqué. Gomez. Struggling to play the ball out, Barca. It's good pressing from Aspas. Aspas going now to try and make it difficult for Gomez. Mathieu, now Neymar. Still Neymar. Denis Suarez. Sergio Roberto. Barca need urgency. Neymar. Iniesta. Still Iniesta. Loses it. Driven in by Mathieu. It'll be a Barca corner. It wasn't Gomez's best ever clearance. Into the last 5 minutes now.
Well, this is a chance for Barca, but it could be a final chance for Celta because everybody has pushed forward. Celta could hit on the break.
Well, it's headed clear by Gomez, only as far as Denis Suarez. Here's Sergio Roberto. He loses his footing again. If they can find the pass, it's about Boyer on the ball. Plays himself into trouble. Piqué over the top. Nobody gets any contact. It's at times almost, Duncan, a little bit like watching a school football match. Some of the defending has been real high comedy. Here's Denis Suarez. The chip to the far post, and it's Gerard Piqué again. Barca pull one back, 4-3. Gerard Piqué, well, he's really turning into Football Club Barcelona's Sergio Ramos, so you probably wouldn't like me to say that, but just keeps cropping up and getting the goals when the pressure's on. When the tough get going, Gerard Piqué starts playing. It's great determination from Suarez. Again, Piqué arriving from an unmarked position, and the defending was really shocking there.
I guess the last touch off the Celta player as Piqué heads it down. It just takes it past Sergio Alvarez. Almost set for a grandstand final of 4 minutes as Barcelona look somehow against all odds to get something from the game.
Well, what a topsy-turvy game of football we're seeing in Balaidos now. There's another yellow card. Is it Roncaglia or is it Luis Suarez? It looks like Luis Suarez. Can't believe it. A picture of innocence. Luis Suarez. Such a competitive animal. May well have had a couple of words with the linesman there. Was unable to read his lips. Barca players surrounding the referee a little bit as Iago Aspas gets taken off to a massively deserved standing ovation, and it's John Guidetti coming on to take his place.
Yeah, Iago Aspas is lapping up the applause, just wasting a few more seconds. What a performance has been from Iago Aspas today. He has caused nightmares for Football Club Barcelona. Got a goal, but he's offered up so much more than that in the game.
Throw to Barca, quickly taken by Sergio Roberto. Alderweireld loses it. It will be another throw. Can they hold on? Aspas asking Was if there's a possibility. Andres Iniesta managing to stay on his feet. Finds Mathieu. Now Neymar. Still Neymar. Denis Suarez. There's been a change in Barca since Denis Suarez came on, I feel. Just a little bit more spark about them up front. Guidetti unable to bring the ball under control. Quickly taken throw. His Neymar. Still Neymar. Plays the ball in towards Alcácer, who did well to get a second opportunity. Alderweireld's cross. Neymar. What an opportunity. He was sending Sergio Alvarez the wrong way. The perfect header in many ways, except for the fact that he missed the target, hitting it against the direction it came in. Wrong-footing the keeper. It's a brilliant ball from Alderweireld. Just unable to keep it within the post. And the relief in the response of Sergio Alvarez when he sees the ball go wide is palpable.
Had a little bit of slip there with his footing.
He stays down just to waste a little bit of time. Piqué complaining. Everybody does it. And really, the only thing the referee can do is add a few more minutes on.
Well, I think Sergio Alvarez has a bit of a case here. I think he planted his left foot and it slipped out from under him. Might be a muscle strain.
But irrespective of whether it's time wasted or injury, he should still add time on. And I think that's probably what he's explaining to Luis Suarez. Well, there was the chance for the equaliser with Alvarez completely sold. And I think you're right. What I read as being a gesture of relief is one of pain.
Well, we're going to see how long Barca...
5 minutes. The home fans, Duncan, not at all pleased. And I don't think Suarez is totally satisfied. He probably would like 55 more minutes.
I think 5 minutes is, if anything, a little bit generous to Barcelona, again, which we haven't had too many long pauses for injuries or knocks.
And we haven't had too much absolutely open time wasting either, I don't think. All players in this kind of situation take their time when being substituted or take the time in taking goal kicks. It's really down to the referee in terms of games that I've seen, time I've seen added on this season in La Liga. 5 minutes seems about the max you're going to get. Here's Radoja. Jeremy Mathieu heading it back to Mark ter Stegen, perhaps in a message to the German keeper about his confidence in his play with his feet. Will be a little bit harsh, but have to insist 2 errors from the German keeper have been, at least in part, responsible for Barca finding themselves in this position. They still have time to get a share of the points. They need 1 more goal. Celta 4, Barcelona 3, and Balaidos right behind their side as they attempt to back to the wall's defence. Piqué again. It's a good ball in from Denis Suarez. Piqué seems to have a magnet in his head there.
I'm not sure Piqué has ever scored a career hat-trick. He will never have come closer than in this game. He's had 3 or 4 chances. He's put away 2 of them. He's been the real attacking threat for Barcelona, which is never a good sign.
Absolutely, Barca now depending on an epic assault rather than their usual controlled build-up. It has been a strange game of football, a tremendously entertaining one. Never thought for one moment at 3-0 at half-time we'd be seeing Celta trying to hold on for a 4-3 win in stoppage time. Guidetti wins the free kick for that challenge by Jeremy Mathieu. A little bit clumsy, the French central defender there, giving Guidetti the opportunity to go down. Free kick aimed to Guidetti once more, trying to hold it up. Neymar helping out. It falls nicely for Guidetti. Too much of a stretch. And finally the shot by Hernandez, just a little bit close to Mark ter Stegen's body.
It was just when Guidetti was saying, I'm ready to get this back now.
And the defence again, it's comedy defending. And finally it's Johnny who puts the ball out of touch and into safety, relative safety.
Some of these wayward passes, I'm sure Xavi's watching on in Qatar with his head in his hands.
And free kick given against Arda Turan, whose motivation got the better of him there. Berizzo hanging on and giving instructions. Roncaglia stays down and waves away or pushes away any attempts by the Barca players to help him to his feet. Facundo Roncaglia with a pass to Espanyol will be feeling especially gleeful for this situation. He's put in a fine performance as well at left back.
It's just as the referee was going over to maybe try and show a card to Roncaglia, pops straight back up. We're into the final minute of stoppage time. There can't be too many more opportunities in Barcelona.
Sergio Alvarez to take the resulting free kick. The official time tells us there are 15 seconds left. Chelo Diaz with the header. Guidetti's under it. So too is Sergio Roberto. Gomez plays it back to Ter Stegen, who even now doesn't blast it upfield. 3 seconds to go. Neymar. Still Neymar. And in the end, he was aided and abetted by Jeremy Mathieu, and Celta Vigo have pulled off a famous victory. Last season they beat Barca here 4-1. This season it's 4-3. The emotions spilling over, and unfortunately the memory which will be abiding after this one is that close-up of Mark Ter Stegen walking off the pitch with his head down, knowing full well that
A third win then for Manuel Barroso against Luis Enrique at Barcelona. No other manager in La Liga has more than one. That completes Barca's worst start after 7 games since 2006, leaving them 4th in La Liga.